All right, let's talk about one of the most common and, frankly, one of the most misunderstood numbers in the entire world of slots, return to player, or RTP. You've seen it, right? That little percentage tucked away in the game info? But what is it really telling you? Well, we're going to pull back the curtain on that number today. So this is the big question, isn't it? It's the one we're all asking. You see a high number, maybe 96, 97%, and your brain immediately thinks, oh, nice, this one's a safer bet. I'm probably going to get most of my money back. But is that what's actually happening? And boom, there it is. That's the heart of the confusion. It's a totally logical assumption to make. I get it. But as we're about to find out, this idea that RTP is some kind of personal payback guarantee, well, it's one of the biggest myths in the game. Okay, so let's really dig into that 96% number that you see everywhere. It feels like a promise, but it's not. It's not a promise for what's going to happen to you tonight. It's more like a mathematical blueprint for how the machine is designed to behave over its entire, very, very long life. So, here's the official definition. The two most important parts of this sentence are all wagered money and overtime. What that means is, for every $100 that everyone, you, me, everybody, puts into this machine, it's designed to eventually pay back about $96. But that word, eventually, it's doing a lot of heavy lifting there. And this is the kind of scale we're talking about. We're not talking about the 100 spins you play in an hour. We're not even talking about 1,000 spins. This number is calculated over millions, sometimes even billions of spins. Your personal session is just a tiny, tiny drop in a gigantic ocean of data. You gotta think of it like a giant pot of money. Everybody's wagers go into the pot. Then the machine pays out that 96% from the pot, but it does it totally randomly. So one person might hit a massive jackpot and take a huge chunk out, while tons of other people might lose everything they put in. In the end, it all averages out, but not for any one person. And this is the single most important thing to remember. RTP tells you absolutely nothing, zero, about what you'll get back in your session tonight, tomorrow, or this week. A slot with a super high RTP can, and absolutely will, feel just as brutal in the short term as any other machine. You know, looking at RTP all by itself is a huge mistake. It just doesn't tell you the whole story. It has these hidden partners, other numbers that it works with to create the actual experience you feel when you're playing. So let's meet its closest partner first. So meet the house edge. RTP and house edge are literally two sides of the same coin. They're a perfect inverse of each other. If a game has a 96% RTP, that means it has a 4% house edge. That 4% is the slice the casino keeps as profit over the long haul. That's why the best way to think about RTP isn't as a return, but as the cost of playing the game. Okay, but this is where it gets really interesting. Let's say you've got two different slot machines side by side. Both have the exact same 96% RTP, so they cost the same to play over the long run, right? But one of them feels like this wild roller coaster, big wins, big losses, while the other just kind of trickles out small wins. What's going on there? The answer is a little thing called volatility. This is the other hidden partner. So if RTP tells you what percentage the machine pays back over its lifetime, volatility tells you how it pays it back. Is it in tiny, frequent little wins, or in huge, rare, life-changing jackpots? See, RTP is the cost, but volatility is the feel of the game. And this chart breaks it down perfectly. A low volatility game, you're going to get a lot of wins, but they'll be small. It feels steadier, and your money tends to last a bit longer. Now, a high volatility game is the complete opposite. You'll go through these long, frustrating dry spells with no wins, but you're always chasing that one massive payout. They feel completely different, even with the same RTP. Okay, so now that we've kind of busted the myths and we understand how this stuff works together, how should we actually use this number? Because it is a useful piece of information, you just have to know how to use it the right way. So here's the Smart Player's Toolkit. First, use RTP to just compare the long-term price tags on games. A 96% game is simply a better value proposition than a 94% game. Second, use it as a filter to just avoid the really bad games with super low RTPs. And third, use it to set your expectations. Remember, every single slot has a house edge built in. It's designed for you to lose over time. And on the flip side, this is what you absolutely should not do. Never, ever use RTP to predict when a win is coming. A machine is never due. It's random every single time. And definitely don't use it to chase your losses, thinking you'll get it back. And please don't let a high RTP blind you to a game's brutal volatility if you can't afford those long losing streaks. RTP is a comparison tool. It's not a winning strategy. So, if it can't help you win, what's the real value in even knowing all of this? Well, it's all about making a fundamental shift in how you think about playing in the first place. And this is the real game changer right here. It shifts you away from that magical thinking, trying to find a hot machine that's ready to pay, and it moves you into the world of being an informed consumer. You're not hunting for a win anymore, you're just understanding the price tag on the entertainment you're about to buy. Seriously, if you remember just one single thing from this whole explainer, let it be this. RTP explains the long-term cost, not the short-term outcome. It's not a safety net, it's not a promise, it's just the price. The real power in knowing this is that it replaces superstition with clarity. It gives you context for why you're losing, instead of just frustration. It won't make you win, but it will stop you from misunderstanding why you lose. And trust me, there's a ton of value in that alone. And that really brings us to the only question that truly matters. This was never about finding a way to beat the machine. It's about knowing exactly what the cost of playing is, and then looking at that cost and deciding for yourself, is the fun, is the thrill worth that price? That's what being an informed player is all about.